makes me feel like a man.
You want every team to lose any other game? Sorry. Bailey Zappi just put another dime. You know what? Wait. Time out. Are you kidding? That's what I'm gonna try to drop a mic. Welcome to the Warner Brothas Podcast. My name is Keenan, joined by my brother Kyle, joined by Branndon, joined by Duke.
Yeah.
It's been a blast up and down getting Duke ready, getting us ready for all of this here lovely stuff. But we're gonna get pause if you getting Duke ready for graduation day.
It's been a long road just to get to this NFL show.
Long road, like bro, like y'all both brothers, like yo, him and shit, like
Long road?
I don't think long road's possible.
Long road?
yeah, long road and long. Like I get ridden or I get rode a long time by women, so like I'm trying to keep it straight.
What?
Oh, what?
Okay, well okay.
This is fourth dimension, Duke.
All right, so
It's been about
Smell that?
It's been about two and a half hours. It's been about two and a half hours that we've been like quasi recording. So it definitely has been a long
You just
road.
started using Q words for no reason.
I did for no reason.
I didn't know quasi.
Quasi.
So let's
Quasi. That's how you know it's 11
so let's
p.m. when I start using quasi.
let's quickly get into the Super Bowl prediction going on with these Q words. See, look at that. It's impeccable. We've got the San Francisco 49ers seeing the Kansas City Chiefs. We obviously saw this. We saw this matchup, the same but different, same coaches, but obviously different players that are there. Different quarterback for San Fran, Brock Purdy. Chiefs don't have Tyreek Hill. Do we want to go into predictions, or we want to go a couple things before?
I mean, we should kind of warm up first.
Let's warm up. Okay, so I've got a top 10 list of people who I think are in like rank of 1 to 10 of best players in this game.
Ooh,
if you want to start
that's
there.
Cool. Let me hear that.
We know one is Mahomes.
One's Mahomes. Yeah, that's cool. But okay, so I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go 10 to 1. So at 10, I've got Nick Bosa.
Wow,
At 9, I got Travis Kelce.
Oh my God, your list is trash already. I'm sorry to lie to you.
It's fair. At 8, we have Trent McDuffie, first team All Pro. So
Nigga, who?
First team All Pro corner Trent McDuffie.
Yeah, who?
Stud corner out of Washington.
What do you do? Okay.
That means owl.
Okay, you can go over to OVO with that. Okay, anyways. At 7, we got Deebo Samuel. At 6, we've got George Kittle. Oh, boy, he was that upset at Deebo.
Drop the phone.
He was that upset with Deebo at 6. My Lord.
Sorry,
7. My
Take
bad.
my phone off the charger.
Okay. So I'm going to read this through, and then you guys can give your commentary. 10, Nick Bosa. 9, Travis Kelce. 8, Trent McDuffie. 7, Deebo Samuel. 6, George Kittle. 5, Chris Jones. 4, Fred Warner. 3, Trent Williams. 2, Christian McCaffrey. 1, Patrick Mahomes.
I'll say this. I'd be interested in the list without offensive linemen if we just did position players. Aside from that, I would say we have to move Deebo into the top 5 somehow.
Easy.
I'd say he's definitely going to be ahead of Kittle.
If
he's
you
definitely going
want-
to be ahead of Kittle.
Just quickly, if you want it without offensive linemen, that would only take out Trent Williams, and that would basically, which is usually
important.
But
It's
so
important.
so basically, without Trent,
I'm not saying it's got to be. I'm saying it'd be.
no, I'm
interesting
just
what the
saying
list would
without
be.
it, it'd basically be. I can read it quick. Mahomes 1, McCaffrey 2, Fred Warner 3, Chris Jones 4, Kittle 5, Deebo 6, McDuffie 7, Kelce 8, Bosa 9, and be Brock Purdy at 10.
I'd say.
I'm still taking like 5 people over Brock Purdy.
Well, I mean, it'd be barely the conversation would be L'Jarius Sneed, Brandon Ayuk, Travarius Ward, Isaiah Pacheco, Brock Purdy would be.
First of all, you disrespecting. All right, I'm gonna let you get your shit off because you had a great list. I'm not even gonna lie, your list is actually more accurate than analysts' list. I think you just have a lot of people switched up. I would switch up your 4 and your, if I'm not mistaken, 2. It might be 5 and 3.
You could talk me into Deebo over Chris Jones. You could talk me.
Deebo's over a lot of people.
Deebo's
I
so
don't know if he's
versatile.
over Chris Jones. I think that goes either or. Because just being a defensive player, you don't know what it feels like to be on that side of the field. and to have that impact that he has, that's like you taking Ray Lewis and saying, okay, I'll take McGahee over Ray Lewis. You sound fucking crazy. That's how big of an impact Chris Jones has on the game.
Did you just compare Willis McGahee to Debo Samuel and Chris Jones?
No, I'm saying where they're listed on your list. If it was that Super Bowl, and what was it, 02? Was it 02?
You're talking about the 2000 one?
The one they actually won. The Ravens won.
The Ravens won 2. They won in 2000. They won
McGahee wasn't in the league yet.
No, and then they won in 2013, and that was the Ravens. I was going to say Ravens 49ers.
Yeah, they had
I
forget who their RB was.
Frank Gore, I think.
It was either
on
one
the Niners.
Of us Miami people.
Yeah, it was Frank Gore.
It was one of us Miami people. That's all I know about it.
Gore,
but that's still essential to that. Like, people don't understand what a defensive presence matters to the game. So you having Chris Jones on that list that high, I completely agree with. Because they don't know, like, that one player, that takes a whole half of the field away, depending on what they do. And what he does in the middle of that field, you can't run to the right. So if we're going to make a run play, it's going to be a left counter, it's going to be something else. And even then, if we do a pass play, like, he's going to run through the O-line.
I'll say this, though. I mean, the Chiefs' run defense is pretty suspect, though. Bills ran it down their throat. Yeah. Ravens should have ran it down their throat. Pause if you want to pause that. But
so how can it be suspect if that's the case? We have Lamar Jackson. That man did not run 10 yards, boy.
But that was Lamar. That was on Lamar.
But that don't matter. That's not about just Lamar. That's play calling.
That wasn't the scheme. Shouts to Spags, but that wasn't the scheme. That was Lamar and the Ravens. That was the Ravens underperforming, the Ravens coaching staff not calling a good game, in my opinion.
I'm with you, but you on the field, you hiking the ball. Do you not choose to run on your own?
Well, I feel you. That's what I'm saying. It's on Lamar. It's on Lamar at the end of the day. And there probably was some schemes that we couldn't see that maybe prevented him from running. But I don't think it was that way 100% of the game. I don't
think you give Andy Reid 2 weeks to prepare for you at the same time. Like what he was saying about Belichick. You give me this time to prepare, I'm still one of them ones. I'm still one of them coaches.
Most definitely. But, this is Spags on the defense. But, no, Andy Reid, of course, elite coach. Give him 2 weeks.
We in the room together.
I feel the same way about Shanahan, though, going into this game as well, though. I think it's going to be in...
But I whooped that ass last time. Hey, you had the same prepared last time.
He got the win, but... Hey, different Chiefs team, different Niners team, though,
okay,
too.
they were down in the fourth. Mahomes threw a pick early fourth, and then Jimmy Garoppolo went 3 of 11 for like 30 yards and a pick in the fourth quarter. So, I don't want to say whipped. I want to say they did win, though. They did win. You always give credit to the dub because they did get it done. But the game comes down to Jimmy G not being able to hit a wide open Emmanuel Sanders in the middle of the field, because if he hits that, they win.
I will say
wide open Emmanuel.
I will say.
How many games is like that? How many games?
A lot of them. A lot of them. That's why you give credit to the winner, and that doesn't matter anymore.
I do want to say on the Jimmy G throw, on that deep throw.
He gets so much hate for no reason.
Emmanuel definitely had a step, maybe 2 steps, but I've seen people miss that throw every week in the NFL. Like, elite quarterbacks miss that throw every week in the NFL.
Oh, and they need to hit it. No,
so I've always thought that's been a little overrated. I thought he had a 3rd down throw in the previous drive that was more key than that. He definitely had a step.
Wow, I never thought about that, to be honest with you.
He definitely had a step, but I don't know. I see quarterbacks every week, whether it's Tom Brady even in his prime. I've seen him, everybody misses that throw a ton.
Yeah, you're never going to be perfect as a quarterback, so.
For sure.
And even when you are, it doesn't matter. As long as I put it in your hands or put it in an area where you can catch, that's on you. I agree. Regardless. But that's on you as a receiver.
I thought that one was
with Keenan, though. That's one you got to make. Like, you have to make that throw.
100%.
I've always thought it was just a little overblown. Yes, you do, but I think that's a tougher throw than people give credit for it.
If we want to talk about the GOAT, you know what I mean? My nigga Mahomes, shout out to the GOAT. Yeah. He already said a play that happened that got him into the Super Bowl. I overthrew MVS by a yard. I made sure next time I underthrow him by a yard, and he caught it in his numbers right here. And now we in the Super Bowl. I make an adjustment.
That's true. That's why Mahomes is in a different class than Jimmy G.
Yeah. Branndon, do you have any
Jimmy
objections
Jesus.
list-wise?
Not really. I think the only thing, I think there's so many good players total overall on both sides. I agree. You could definitely put L'Jarius Sneed on there. I would honestly, I think you could make a good case of putting Sneed on there. Maybe, I think you can make a case putting him on there a little bit higher than McDuffie, and then maybe slide McDuffie down one or two. But I'm definitely okay with McDuffie right there. I agree. I think Christian McCaffrey is the second best player on the field. I think that's not even close. And if we do include offensive lineman Trent Williams at number 3, 100%, he's probably best tackle NFL and probably one of the best offensive linemen, if not the best offensive lineman in the
I want to take
NFL.
him over Aaron Donald, but I agree with you.
Go on. Just go on.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have any gripes. I think maybe Brock Purdy, but then again, it's so difficult to get him on there because there's so many good players in this matchup. So,
Yeah.
I think to make like a perfect list, you'd have to have 12 to 15. You know,
No,
Lot of
honestly, I kind of did like an 11 to 20 real quick to kind of just see where people like my 18, 19, and 20 right now. Rashee Rice, Chase Young, and Dre Greenlaw, and that's leaning off people like Karlaftis and Justin Reid. Sorry, that's leaving off like some people like that who are like still really good, like Travarius Ward, who was a second team All Pro. It's just the back half of that list. Yeah, what's up?
Pronounce the 49ers fullback for me with the J.
Kyle
Juszczyk.
That he's number 10. Minimum. At least minimum, he's number 10. I'm taking somebody off of that top 10 list that you said and putting him up there. People don't see what he do.
No, he does a lot, which is why, honestly, personally, the reason why I have Kittle over Debo is I understand Debo unlocks a lot for that offense, but I think that what Kittle does in the offensive blocking for that, it's like when Gronk was on the Patriots in their run, like especially towards the end, it was like having a 6 offensive lineman, and that's what Kittle is to that. Kittle can also give you a $150 catching.
I'll say this.
So that's why that's
top
personally
5.
for me.
I'll say this. This is off the top. The Niners' record with Debo and without Debo is pretty insane. It's something like 10-1.
It's glaring.
It is, but at the same time, people don't recognize is Trent Williams missed the exact same time that Debo did,
Maybe so.
which matters.
So, and that definitely matters. He's a top tier left tackle. But
what
Debo,
you're saying about Kittle to me is top 5 in this. No matter what y'all put, because it's also, yes, I might give him a little grace over what he did in previous years, and I might have that as a little bit of a little stigma on him, and I'm leaning towards him more. But that we're talking about George Kittle, bro. Like,
and I fuck with Kittle.
Let's not forget he
think
had 1,000 receiving yards.
Listen.
Ron did on injured legs and had defensive coordinators not knowing how to act. We're talking about George Kittle at a second chance after he already lost one. If y'all saw that interview, I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all saw that interview. That man was hurt when he lost that first time. I don't think that he's coming out here as a different beast. He's leaving it all on the field. He looks like Branndon. I think he's gonna go ahead and do his damn thing.
Facts.
He got more hair than me.
I'll say this about Kittle. Like, I love Kittle's game. I think he's still somehow underrated as a tight end, even though I think he was All Pro this year, correct?
First team.
Yeah, and I still think
yes,
I still think he's not talked about enough. I really do. Thing is, though, with Debo's going to be in the Super Bowl MVP discussion.
If they win.
He's got a higher chance in that than Kittle to me. So I still got to have Debo top 5 with his versatility. Kittle would be in the top 5 too.
That's just off prediction. That's off what you're thinking. They could run a whole scheme like that, and everybody looking for Debo, and Kittle could go 5 for 5 with 110 and 2 touchdowns.
I mean, we saw
He's most definitely.
I think has the second most yards in a game
could.
ever as a tight end, only behind Shannon Sharp. Like, he tried to charge that. Like, Kittle the thing with Kittle is, like, he's the best blocking tight end in football. Obviously, like, there's some lower tier tight ends that are very good blocking tight ends too, but he's really, like, one of, if not the best blocking tight end in football, plus being one of the best receiving tight ends in football, which is what makes him so special. But I don't disagree. I don't want to say I disagree with the Debo thing. I just have a preference of Kittle over, but I get what you're saying. Debo, his versatility, being able to line him up in the backfield, in the slot, outside. He can put the top over the defense. He also can stake underneath as well. His physicality. Like, Debo unlocks so many things for that 49ers offense. So I absolutely agree. I don't disagree with you at all. I personally just think Kittle's a little bit more, but again, it's really picking hairs. It's hard.
It's apples and oranges when you come to it.
It's splitting.
Let's do a rapid fire.
Yep.
Right here. All right. I'm gonna give you a position group.
Yeah.
And you guys tell me whether you get the Niners or the Chiefs, who gets the edge there. Okay.
That's kind of funny because I have this on my list here. Go on.
There we go.
Brothers being brothers.
That's why it's
the we're
that's
happy
why
we're single and we're colored.
Hey.
Yo, between Duke and Keenan coming up with these random ass songs that y'all, I don't know how they're in your Rolodex, but y'all got it. But listen,
Yep.
Where do we want to start? Let's go secondary. Who has a better secondary?
Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Kansas City.
I would agree.
Especially with Mfungo out, Kansas City.
I'd agree.
Is he out?
He's been out. But I was saying, especially with him out.
I thought he was coming back. That's why.
No. With him healthy, then that would be more of a conversation. But I mean, McDuffie first team All Pro, and Snead could have been first team All Pro. Honestly, they just have a better. I honestly think there's no reason why he shouldn't have been on at least the second team All Pro. But yeah, I think the Chiefs are.
All right, let's go linebacking crew.
You have Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw.
Niners.
And even the Niners, that's the best thing they got is linebacks. It's the liners when you talk about them.
Yeah.
So you got a 1-1 there. Then you go to the defensive line. Your front four. Who you got there? Chiefs, Niners.
Niners.
I'm gonna go.
Niners. Yeah.
Chris Jones is too dynamic. He takes two spaces up more than everybody else. Chris Jones is too dynamic.
So we got 2-1, and then I'll just throw this out there. Defensive coordinator. I'd give it Spags.
Spags, yeah.
Yeah, Spags.
Over what? Steve Wilkes.
Over Steve Wilkes.
Offensive coordinator. We're gonna give Kyle Shanahan. We already know the vibes.
All right, so let's go.
Over Andy Reid? I don't think that's
Shanahan is the best offensive coordinator in football in the last 10 years. It's not his fault that his players do not perform. He should have 3 Super Bowls right now. Point blank period.
I mean, you could call play calling in the Falcons game the reason why they lost too.
That was a little riggy because y'all didn't run the ball in the whole second half. Y'all didn't run the ball in the whole second. All you do when you're up that big, you run the ball. It might as well be Pete Carroll
but that's play calling, and that's on your coaching staff.
That's NFL calling. Hey yo.
Why would Roger Goodell want the Patriots, especially to win after?
Ever can imagine. I have $1 trillion upside. They're down 28-3 to Tom Brady. If you do not fucking lose this game, then you will be a travesty into the NFL. If they win this game, we swing like 10 years in one day. Even Roger Goodell betted on Tom Brady down 3. Because you know what the spread was? It was like, what, 1150 plus 1150? Imagine putting $1 billion on 1150. All you need to do is win. You don't even got to cover. That's crazy amount of money.
You could try to lose a 28-3 lead, even if it was rigged, and you still couldn't do that shit. They lost that shit outright. They lost that shit outright.
Julio Jones doesn't make that catch trying to lose.
They lost that shit.
You're not running the ball.
Like he just said,
literally run the ball every possession and kick and punt, and you would not lose that game because the clock's gonna run.
If they're trying to
throw it and try to make Julio MVP, and they tried to make Matt Ryan MVP.
Dog, listen. Either way, if they're trying to lose, Julio Jones doesn't make that catch. Like he said, like you can't. Yeah.
That's the best catch in Super Bowl history.
One of them,
and you know, dude.
Yeah,
this is why I hate. This is why I hate. Facts. This is why I hate the whole rigged sports talk, because everyone here has played sports. You can't fake like if you were trying to really like lose a game, it would be so obvious. You can't go. You can either go halfway or you can go full. You can't really go 3/4 speed. You can't really go 85%. Like it's really either 0-50.
Every NFL or every NBA or every sports athlete should be winning Emmys and Oscars, and they should be winning every award if they're faking, because they literally like the amount of emotion and everything they're putting out there would be crazy. But
what
anyway,
you're thinking is that everybody got to know you got to lose. Everybody don't know you got to lose, or everybody don't have to believe in the decision to lose. Sometimes the ref is in on it. Sometimes the main player is in on it.
Yeah, but honestly, that was one of the least fishy comeback losses. Like, they just outright
That was fishy as fuck.
Yeah.
You don't run the ball the whole second half.
We see-
what are you talking about? You know how much time gets taken off the... They were down 28-3 with 2 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock at the end of the third quarter, cuz.
So let me ask you
You know
this
how many
then.
times you got to score in the fourth?
So was
Bro,
the
you
AFC...
bugging.
Duke. Was the AFC Championship this year, was that rigged too? Because the Ravens didn't even try to run the ball, and that's their strength.
I don't know if you're not trying to run the ball. I don't know if you're not trying to prove nothing. Because that, like you said, it was on Lamar. And what we see it's all Lamar career.
That's the same shit, though. That's the same shit, though.
All Lamar
That's the same
career,
shit.
that nigga was trying to run the ball.
yeah, and
That's
he
his
did know.
first go-to.
No,
That's my point. That's
no,
my point.
But and he
They didn't run the ball in the
You're
AFC
making
Championship
conscious
game.
decision to try to prove them wrong because you're the MVP now, and you're trying to show that you're a pocket quarterback. You're not using your legs. I can't control that. But I also can't say that we ain't prepared for you for 2 weeks, and we're looking for the run. But I believe in Lamar running more than anybody.
So then you're telling me that they plan to get up 28-3 and then lose 28, give up that whole lead?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you're up that much, and the football call came in, a Vegas call, whatever, more money than we will ever know.
I think that was Shanahan's worst game.
He's not
That's
gonna
what it
not
was.
run. Well, bro, you were talking about Debo.
We've seen that in football a ton of times, though, where people
we
just go away from what they should do.
Yeah, no, that's
talking about
Jacksonville last year against the Chargers.
We talk about what Shanahan does. Shanahan gonna run the ball. That's
We'll
what
get
he
to-
do.
We'll get
When
to
you got
Shanahan, though.
MCM.
Hold on, time out.
Yeah,
I did the Branndon right here, time out.
He got Man Crush Monday. You mean CMC? 1, 2.
He said MCM.
He said MCM. I mean 1. That's 2. And yes, you had Christian McCaffrey here in about 68 hours, roughly. Yes, you have Christian McCaffrey, or probably like 42 now. But anyways, he had Tevin Coleman and Devonta Freeman, and Tevin Coleman got injured.
Devontae Freeman like that.
No, okay, listen. We're not putting Devonta Freeman in the same class as Christian McCaffrey.
Windmill.
Ever.
Not even close.
Ever. Yeah, okay, so that's my point. He had Matt Ryan MVP. He had Julio Jones, best receiver in the league. He had a very good offensive line. You're up 28-3. He had a very good offensive line.
So
You're
why
up
you
20.
not running the ball?
Hold on.
I agree.
Hold on. You're up 28-3. Sometimes coaches outthink themselves. They think, okay, we can't be conservative because we can't give this team any chances. So they start to throw the ball a little bit more. When they throw the ball a little bit more, then the Patriots, they go down. They make it 28-10 or 28-9 because they missed the extra point. Then they make it 28-12. Okay. Then they get a fumble. That fumble was because Tevin Coleman was not in on third down. They had to put Devonta Freeman in, who is not a pass blocking guy. Dante Hightower goes around the edge. And then now you're in a situation where you're down 1 score. Now you're scared. So you're throwing the ball because running, like, you can't go 3 and out at this point. They have all the momentum. So that's just natural.
All of that, you run the ball and you run the clock down to last second.
Yeah, but they did.
It doesn't matter. You don't even have 3 possessions as long as we have the ball and we get 2 first downs.
Yeah, but
They
that doesn't.
should've.
But that's not a. But they weren't content with just scoring 28. They wanted to score more.
I understand that. I get
You're going to put the nail in the coffin.
So that's why your calling's different.
No, there is legal documentation that shows that they didn't run the ball but 2 times in the whole second half. That is crazy. You're up 25 points.
And that's Kyle Shanahan's worst game because
Hey, give me a fact check. Give me
This is
someone.
the only reason why people call Tom Brady the GOAT is because of that game.
Someone
game
give
is
me-
trash.
Give me a fact check on that.
Tom Brady could
I
have-
want to see what the
Tom
what
Brady
the
could have
carries
lost
were in the
that.
second
Tom Brady
half.
could have lost that game, be 6-4 in the Super Bowls, still be the GOAT. You want to know why? Because he's Tom freaking Brady. So that's okay.
I don't know.
No.
Without that, you're trying to tell me with
Tom Brady like 3 Super Bowls ago. Tom Brady's first Super Bowls was based on his defense. Tom Brady did not do shit until the Seattle game, which he should have lost. They just didn't want a real nigga
false.
to be a fucking MVP.
False.
And,
False.
Let me tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Let me tell you.
Go.
This like the Kobe argument we never got.
He wasn't the GOAT until that Falcons game, too. And then when he went to Tampa, that nigga only really won 3 championships that makes him solidified as the GOAT. Everyone, Adam Vinatieri before that, and his defense on the other one. But guess who you ain't beat? Eli fucking Manning. Shut up.
You know who he did beat? Patrick Mahomes, who was your GOAT. He had 200 yards, 3 touchdowns in that game.
And you gotta pass the GOAT. It's called the sacrifice. It's getting handed down. I can't beat you in the championship. I can't beat you in the Super Bowl.
So you're not the GOAT.
I can't beat you in the regular season. Why? Because it's scripted for me to bait you. So
here's the
only
thing.
losses I have.
So here's the thing. Yes, you're losing to the guy who's better.
Anything that you do, are you not the GOAT? If I get 7, and I only lost to Tom Brady, am I not the GOAT?
Pause. No, you're not, because you lost to the GOAT. So, anyways, that's pretty simple. So the first one, you're right, 20-17. Tom Brady, I think, had 0 touchdowns in that game. He just basically didn't turn the ball over. Was perfectly fine. Did lead a comeback drive at the end to set Vinatieri up for a 41-yard field goal.
And you should have lost to the Rams. If you want to keep the 100, the Rams sucked.
Okay, anyways, we're going to go on with the greatest show on turf who just won the Super Bowl the year prior. But
Which Rams?
I'm talking about the Rams with Jared Goff bum ass.
Oh, we'll get there. We're going through. You opened the camp.
I apologize.
What?
Look, Brandon,
Kyle, this is not. Kyle, it's not going to take long. I promise you, Kyle.
I'm like,
Kyle, promise it won't take long. Going through, then he played the Eagles. He had about 3 touchdowns in that game. They won 24-21. Then he played the Panthers 32-29, had 3 touchdowns in that game. Obviously lost to the Giants, didn't have a great game. Lost to the Giants again, didn't have a great game. 4 touchdowns against the Seahawks.
That's a good
then he
defense.
goes through. Great defense. All-time great defense. He goes there 12 or 14 in the fourth quarter, like 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. We don't want to talk about that though.
Damn,
and then we go on.
Crazy.
Yes, absolutely. I know this stuff I'm prepared for. Then we go on. Obviously, we beat the Falcons, 28-3 comeback, of course. Then 505 yards, 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, lose to the Eagles. You're not trash at all. And then obviously they beat the Rams, and then we see him beat the Bucs. Okay, 200. Let's go on to offensive linemen. Offensive line group. Who has a better offensive line group between Kansas City and the San Francisco 49ers talking Super Bowl stuff?
Niners.
If Joe Tooney doesn't play, then I don't know.
I actually have the Chiefs.
Are you serious?
I think the Niners have the best player, but I think the Chiefs have the better line. So I think Joe Tooney is an All-Pro this season. Creed Humphrey is great. I think that you have Trent Williams. I was going to say Trey Smith is very good. You have Trent Williams there, who's the best offensive lineman out of the 10 offensive linemen that are going to line up. But Joe Tooney's close.
Do y'all know what the 49ers linemen do as a running blocking team? Like, are y'all bugging for real?
No, I think that the Chiefs Chiefs are one of the best blocking teams in the league. What do you mean?
I think the Chiefs.
No, not at all.
I think the Chiefs' offensive line has come along, and I think they've had a great.
Not at all.
I think they've had a great postseason. But yeah, overall, I would take the Niners. I think the Niners, game in and game out, perform pretty
I'm
well.
with Keenan on this one, taking the Chiefs.
Okay, so we're down the middle on that. I have the Chiefs. Brandon has the Chiefs. You guys have the Niners.
I want to hear the Chiefs rebuttal though. I heard Keenan. Brandon, I want to hear why you got the Chiefs.
I think interior. I think Kansas City blows San Francisco out of the water in terms of interior. That's probably the best trio of interior offensive linemen in the NFL. And to be quite frank, I think probably within the past 5-10 years, that's probably still one of the best trios. The only trio that I would maybe consider would have been Indianapolis a couple of years ago with Quentin Nelson.
Braden Smith. Tim Smith was a tackle. What? Oh my God!
Center from Alabama.
I can't think of his name right now.
And then Mark Lewinsky.
Yeah, and that or like Dallas when they had the Zach Martin with
Frederick.
Travis Frederick.
So you're going by trios or you're going by individual line?
No, we're going the whole offensive line, all five players. The 49ers have the better left tackle.
Yeah.
And then the better left guard, Kansas City, better center, Kansas City, better right guard, Kansas City, better right tackle. I mean, it's kind of up there. It's like
I hear your argument a little bit better now. I'm still saying
I think the Niners line's been more consistent all year.
So.
I think there's been times where Mahomes has been kind of in hell. we've obviously seen that more. Again, they've been great in the postseason, and that's when it matters. But I think overall, the Niners have been much more consistent as an offensive line.
Purdy, I think with the way they run and they block, you have to give it to them.
That offense is so versatile, like you were saying. The scheme is so versatile. The way they run it to perfection. They really do. But there's a good argument to be made with the Chiefs. For sure. All right, let's go from there. Obviously, quarterback Mahomes over Purdy. Running back, you'd have to say McCaffrey. I guess if you wanted to say groups, maybe it's a little closer.
Which wide receiver core that's really going to get you? Because does Debo count as a wide receiver, or does Debo count as a running back?
Oh, wide receiver. Wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, no,
even then, Branndon Ayuk's better than anybody that Kansas City has.
Yeah, you can take.
Why you disrespecting my man's like that?
You can take and then so it's wide receiver, tight end. I put together because there's only one tight end, so I put like basically the pass catchers. We all have San Fran because why wouldn't we have San Fran? And then coach,
I have Andy over everybody, to be honest.
No, but and then we have and then we coach. We have Andy Reid. We all taking Andy Reid over Kyle Shanahan.
I'm taking Andy Reid.
You got to give him the nod. You got to give him the nod. Absolutely.
We're giving the head coach, or we're giving
just head coach. Just like
head coach.
I am curious about the OC.
I'm taking Kyle.
Tell me why. I want to hear that.
I think with the same talent, Kyle Shanahan would have did what Andy Reid did. Andy Reid lost too many early on. He lost with Donovan McNabb with great talent. He lost with T.O. with great talent. He lost too many times. I can't say Kyle Shanahan lost besides the time with
Ryan.
Yeah.
What about right now? Right as of today, you think Shanahan's a better coach though than Andy Reid? You're just taking
I think he's
up?
a better minded coach. I don't think he's a better successful coach. Not at all.
Sure. So
but
now I'm
curious.
Think
if the roles were reversed, I would say Mahomes don't lose to Brady if he had Kyle Shanahan in that Super Bowl.
Interesting. How about we'll keep it this year though? What if Shanahan's got the Chiefs team? You think Shanahan schemes up better stuff?
That's what I mean. I don't think Mahomes. I think it's 6 AFC championships, 4 Super Bowl championships.
I think if Andy Reid has San Francisco's offense, then I don't even think it would be a close game if Shanahan had Mahomes. I think the 49ers.
I think their success is because of that. Because guess what? There's only one thing that I'll argue that about. The way Kyle Shanahan runs with Debo and the way he does his schemes with his little motions. Andy Reid don't do those shits.
Go on, Kyle.
I'll say this. I wasn't big on Shanahan early in his career with the San Francisco 49ers, but I do think he's without a doubt a top 5 coach overall. I would still take Andy Reid. I'd say you give the edge to Andy Reid, but I don't think it's a wash. I don't think it's like, Belichick versus Dan Quinn in that Falcons Super Bowl, right? I think it's like a Belichick versus a younger Andy Reid during that time.
Okay, let me ask you something. Why do you give it to
Andy Reid?
Yes. Is it because of his success?
Because of his success, yes.
See, then I can't put that on that because
that's why I'm with you, Duke, because I think 1 for 1, just offensive mind, I think Shanahan's right there with Andy Reid.
I can give you a reason. I can tell you why, in my personal opinion. So, when it comes to scripting plays, I think Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid are on the same level. I think Andy Reid has a little bit more kind of, I'm going to call it fun, ingenuity, creativity with his, like the way he lines up people wherever. But I think that when it comes to scheming people open, it's Andy Reid, it's Sean McVay, it's Kyle Shanahan for your 3 best in the league. Matt LaFleur is trying to get himself up there the way he's coached. We'll see more with Jordan Love. But anyways, I think when it comes to that, being on script, I think that Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid would probably look eye to eye. I think we've seen Shanahan be better, but a lot of the critiques of Shanahan, which as Kyle pointed out a few podcasts ago, was early critiques of Andy Reid too. And it might be a quarterback thing because obviously, McNabb's great. He's not Mahomes. But early on in Andy's career, he was having trouble a little bit late game in doing things, clock management, things like that. I think that Andy Reid's late game coaching outcoaches Kyle Shanahan. We've seen him we just argued about it a little bit, but we've talked about the late game decisions that against Atlanta. We saw late game decisions even in other games like the Rams a couple years back when Matt Stafford won the Super Bowl there. Obviously, we talked about the past with Jimmy Garoppolo, but there's also situations there where they got into 3rd and long instead of being in 3rd and manageable, where you felt like Kyle Shanahan kind of didn't call the greatest of plays there down the stretch. He made strides towards it this year. You won a big game, obviously a comeback win against the Packers, a comeback win against the Lions, where you had reach adverse circumstances.
Would we do that, or do we blame that on Brock Purdy though? Because
absolutely that's where it comes, and that's where that comes in too. Because you can call things too, but your quarterback and your players have to execute it. So you put it on Kyle Shanahan and not putting everyone in the right positions always, but also you put it on the players because the players are ultimately the ones that go out there and do it. We've seen Andy Reid come more be better in the clutch than Kyle Shanahan. I think that's where I give him the nod.
I agree.
I could respect it.
Overall, though, reason why I wanted to bring that up, I think final tally, if I'm wrong,
4-4.
Oh, it's 4-4. What about? All right,
for you, it's 5-3. For me and Branndon, it's 4-4.
What about if we had the OCs? This is interesting because Andy Reid and Shanahan are so involved in the offense. What if you just took their OCs?
Got Matt Nagy, and then
I'm taking Nagy.
I can't even.
San Francisco.
I can't.
It don't even matter. Nagy's like that. Nagy could be a head coach, and nobody want to give him his respect.
He was a head coach.
Yeah, he was a head coach.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he could be a head coach. He just was on a bad little situation. But he's like that. I think you give me 2 weeks to study Andy Reid and Nagy, bruh. I'm doing 2 quarterback spies that you don't even see coming, and I got a corner blitz coming every 3rd down.
So I guess it's basically Shanahan as the OC is what I'm getting. So if that's the case, you got to give it to Shanahan.
Better be Shanahan.
Well, yeah,
you got to give it to Shanahan then. So
technically, offensive coach, sure, but
you're saying that when you're not saying like Andy Reid doesn't have a say. I get what you mean. Like, if we're just going 1-1, Andy Reid still has a say on that OC shit.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's his offense, of course.
So that's what I mean. I can't just fully give it to Shanahan. I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong, but I just need to bring
entitled though
to the conversation.
Entitled though, if we're going Shanahan versus Matt Nagy, it's definitely Shanahan.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'll say this, just to bring it back to Shanahan, Andy Reid. I do think Andy Reid has definitely benefited from offensive talent. I'll say it like this. I think Shanahan can do better with less talent than Andy Reid can.
100%.
Sounds kind of crazy because they're in a Super Bowl, but I really do think Baltimore.
No, one's a better coach. One's a better offensive-minded coach. And Kyle Shanahan is a better offensive-minded coach than Andy Reid. Point blank. Kyle Shanahan is probably a top 3 offensive-minded coach of all time.
What you got, Branndon?
I have a rebuttal. So to the more with less, I think what Andy Reid's done so far in the playoffs has been nothing short of phenomenal. With just a rookie wide receiver with Rashee Rice, and then with an older Travis Kelce, and then with Justin Watson and MVS and Kadarius Toney, and
I think he's done a great job scheming up the plays for his best players for Kelce.
So do you think
give them more to Pacheco? Go ahead.
Do you think right now, if we switched it, do you think if Andy Reid's coaching the 49ers, are they in the Super Bowl? My answer is absolutely yes. If Kyle Shanahan's coaching the Chiefs, do you think they're in the Super Bowl? I don't know.
I think they would have had.
It was the number 1 seed. They wouldn't even play away games.
I think if Kyle Shanahan was coaching the Chiefs, I definitely think they would have had a better regular season. I do think that. I think they would have been in a better position than what they are now.
I think if they were swapped, I don't even think this would be a competition, because I think Andy Reid with San Fran's offense would just walk the fucking floor against Kyle Shanahan.
He would. But also we gotta say Shanahan's killed the league with this offense too.
Can we put the Niners. Can I ask a real question?
Go ahead.
Do you think that Super Bowl team that he went with the Eagles, Andy Reid, if Andy Reid coached this team,
that Andy Reid winning? Like 2003 Andy Reid, you're telling me? Coaching this Chiefs team?
Like
Donovan
McNabb, Westbrook.
He was still...
Do you think that team is better than this
He
Chiefs
was Kyle
team?
Shanahan then. What's what we were saying? Kyle Shanahan.
Andy Reid,
no. What I'm meaning is, like, when we're talking about like 03 Andy Reid,
Oh,
But
100%.
he was the best offensive
the
mind who didn't have the
And
hardware
even then-
for it, but
and
he was
even
getting to
then-
the NFC Championship game
100%.
regularly.
And even then, I think
agree
Andy
with
made.
that.
I think Andy made 4 straight NFC title games.
Yeah, he did.
Beyond
that era, so-
bro, beyond,
That's
bro.
what-
He was really.
So, I mean,
like
yeah.
that, bro.
I think we're all speaking the same language here. Shanahan's basically a young Andy Reid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do think offense for
I think
offense.
he's a
I
young
do,
Shanahan too, though, because y'all niggas want to sleep like his dad wasn't. His dad was
that's
him.
right. He remixed his dad's offense
That,
and
was
has
that
made
the
it what it
Broncos,
is.
if I'm not mistaken? Was that the Broncos, right?
Broncos, yeah.
Oh,
Terrell,
like
Da-
Shanahan.
Nigga,
Terrell
he
Davis
was
and-
like that, bro.
Terrell Davis and them. So
Yo, Terrell, that's a great running back name. Can we talk about
Look-
running backs one day?
go
'Cause
look
that's
at.
something, man.
I want to say this. Go look at Terrell Davis's stats during that Super Bowl
They're
run.
fake.
It's insane. I for whatever
They're
reason looked
fake.
it up a couple months ago, and I was like, holy shit!
King says to say it went right back to the phone. Insane.
No, they are.
No,
It will kind of
no, they're fake
it will
stats.
break your mind.
No, they're
'cause
crazy
He doesn't
stats.
even get talked about in the greatest running backs, and you can put his seasons up against anybody.
Sounds stupid.
It's because of it's the longevity with him. It's not the peak. His peak is up. His peak is up there with any back. It's just the long for him. It's the longevity.
I feel that way about
Which
other
is,
people.
but no, you're right. If you
But you can say most running backs don't have but a 3-4 year peak anyway. True. So
Yeah,
I was
y'all
gonna
guys
say
find
the
this
greats. I was gonna say when it comes to the greats, they do, but that was kind of like Emmett had a peak, obviously a long peak. Adrian Peterson did.
But that's old
Barry
football,
Sanders.
too.
Well, I was gonna say
Football,
Barry.
You can hit somebody. You can't hit
Yeah.
nobody anymore.
I'm gonna say Barry Sanders. Obviously, Barry Sanders obviously had a shorter career, but his entire career was his peak. So like he's different. Walter Payton, obviously
he took
great.
last year.
And then you get into some of the other. I mean, I'm missing some too, but you have
shit.
you have other people who were.
OJ, nigga, fuck everybody. The
No,
Jews
it's-
like that.
No, trust me. I'm saying there's a lot of other
They
people
like
who I
white
haven't.
women, but the Jews ain't do all that.
Yeah, but. All right, so before we get into obviously who we have winning and losing, I have a question for you guys. Biggest X factor in the game for each team. Branndon, start with you.
All right, so for you want to do like we did last
damn.
time and give one on offense and
That's
defense,
terrible.
like we did for the
Sure,
championship
you don't
games?
have to, but you can. I have one offense and defense for each team just because that's who I am.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I think for San Francisco on offense is going to be Christian McCaffrey. Kansas City's run defense, I think they were 18th in the regular season. And then also Kansas City really struggles with covering backs out of the backfield. And that's where Christian McCaffrey makes majority of his money at.
Yeah.
We saw Justice Hill give Kansas City some problems a couple weeks ago. Out of the backfield, I want to say he had 3 straight receptions, and that's Justice Hill. Christian McCaffrey is probably 100 times better than Justice Hill. No disrespect.
What do you mean?
That's just
You think?
yeah. So
yeah.
I wouldn't.
What do you mean?
I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if at the end of this game that Christian McCaffrey was the Niners' leading receiver, just because of that factor within itself. And then defensive X factor. It's like, for me, it's 50-50. It's between Fred Warner and between Nick Bosa, because I think Nick Bosa really has a strong chance to dictate this game defensively for San Francisco. Because if he can put pressure on Mahomes, if you can get pressure on Mahomes, you can make his life hell. And you can force him into turnovers, and I think that's what they're going to have to do. And then Fred Warner also, because I'd have to imagine Fred Warner's probably going to be in charge of Travis Kelce. Fred Warner's probably the best linebacker in the league.
No, probably to it.
I think, yeah.
But no, you're
I was
obviously.
gonna ask the question if Fred wins this, well, the Niners, but if Fred wins this, where is he in top 10 linebackers of all time conversations?
On his way.
Honest, he's not top. I don't think he'd be top 10, right?
There's a lot of linebackers.
He's a guy that's on.
I know, but like what Fred impact is, I just want to know because from people who actually watch him and watch, I just want to know like.
No, yeah, honest.
Is that
He needs- he needs to be the best middle linebacker for the 49ers over the last 15 years first. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean Patrick Willis is just like, he's done it longer. Obviously, I think he's getting inducted this year.
First battle.
So he's getting inducted. But you're
Even
not.
Navarro Bowman too.
Yeah, Navarro Bowman was.
But I'm saying
that whole
when
linebacker.
both
Wait, wasn't Chris Borland?
about him?
Chris Borland was a 49er, right?
He was for a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say before he got obviously he left. He was looking.
a problem.
He was looking like a young Luke Kuechly when he was coming in. Like, he was
Shout
looking
out
like a problem.
Luke. Luke is he gets forgot about all the time.
Like,
He was
yeah,
like
no.
that, undersized, undermanned, and that man did the damn thing. But I just wanted to see what y'all take was on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Warner, I would say Jair Brown, but I think Warner's probably going to – I'd have to imagine they're probably going to give majority of that assignment to Fred Warner. That's who they trust the most. So I think that's going to be – I think it's 50-50 for those two guys for San Francisco. For Kansas City, I think it's going to be Isaiah Pacheco. We've seen San Francisco's run defense some struggle against Detroit with Gibbs and Montgomery. I think Pacheco could certainly have himself a good game. And I think Kansas City's probably going to want to dictate the flow of the game. I think they're going to want to play a little smash mouth football. And then for Kansas City on defense, I would go with the obvious with Chris Jones, but I think the most important or the X factor for Kansas City on the defensive end is going to be – I'm going to go with Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie and or L'Jarius Sneed, because the fact that they're going to be tasked with guarding Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, which is going to be instrumental to stopping San Francisco. So, again, 50-50 for Kansas City on the defensive side of the ball for me.
Wow.
Yep.
I wasn't expecting that.
Kyle, I'll go next to you.
Me next?
Yeah.
I would say offensively for San Francisco, I think you would think I would say Deebo, given what I've been saying about him and how, when he plays well, they win, essentially. And I think it's a foregone conclusion. He's going to get his touches and he's going to get his yards and he's going to be an impact player in this game. To me, the X factor for offense would be Ayuk. If Ayuk can have a good game, I think it's no question that the Niners are going to win, right? You're going to get it from Deebo. You're going to get it from McCaffrey, presumably. So you would think if Ayuk performs, you would think it's, Niners, I don't know about going away, but, the Niners should be in control of the game, at least. Defensively for the Niners, I would say they're secondary. Actually, you know what? I would say they're pass rush because they've got nothing out of Chase Young. They've got absolutely nothing out of Chase Young during this run. So if him and Bosa can put it together, again, you pair that with Ayuk, that should be a win for the Niners. Now, on the Chiefs side of the ball, I would say defensively it's their linebacking crew with how they can defend McCaffrey, with how they can just keep the middle of the field at bay, like Branndon said. If they can control the middle of the field, the Niners are going to have a tough time. Purdy's going to have a tough time. And I would say on offense for the Chiefs, it would be Rashee Rice. If he can perform, because, if they take Kelsey away, it's going to be up to Rice to really produce. So if he can have a big game, the Chiefs are going to be certainly in this game. I think, honestly, there's roads to like a 10-point win for both teams. I think if the Chiefs can blitz Purdy and really get to Purdy, it's going to be a long day for him. If the Niners are in control, though, if they can protect and Purdy's just sitting back there and picking it apart, it's going to be hard for the Chiefs to come back from a 10-point deficit, say. So, and actually, their record in Super Bowl seasons down 10 is usually excellent for the Chiefs. Like, I think last year they were 4-1 down 10. And this year, I believe it's reversed. It's either 1-4 or 2-5 or something like that. So, so that's something to look for. If they get down 10, it's going to be hard for them to really move the ball. The Niners' defense hasn't been great, but they can at least force turnovers. We saw it last week or 2 weeks ago against the Lions. They can cause turnovers. They can at least put a little bit of pressure on you. They can at least create plays. So, yeah, those would be my X factors.
Hey, Duke, how about you? Who are your X factors in the game?
I believe just what we all know. I believe this is the Super Bowl. It's the star of stars. So Chris Jones gotta perform. I believe that's on And then, honestly, even with Fred Wagner, which I believe he gets a little pressure off because everybody's looking for Nick Bosa to actually do something. Bosa's ain't do nothing since both of the brothers been in the league. This is the time. Nick need to come through. And I hope he has a great game no matter which way it turns out. I just hope he has a great game to solidify the name. And then offensively, I just think it is what it's going to be. It has to be P. Holmes, and he has to have a great game. He just have. You know what's funny? He has to have the Cam Newton meme of the year, and he just need to be a game manager. He don't need to be a game changer this time. He needs to be a game manager. And if he holds that down, I honestly believe by a field goal, they're going to get the dub. But on the other side of the ball, at the end of the day, it got to be a McCaffrey type of day. You need to run the ball. He need to catch it. Like y'all said, he got to catch it. He got to be the MVP of the Super Bowl for them to win this. And that's what I feel. I don't feel like you can give it to Ayuk. I don't feel like you can give it to Debo and get those little couple plays for 30, 40 yards, give it to the kicker, kick the field goal. I think McCaffrey got to end up in the end zone a couple times. Put this thing away. I think Kyle Shanahan needs to run the schemes. We might even see that, what they call it, that Philly special. We might even see a reverse Philly special from Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan got something up his sleeve that we might not have even seen before that might get run.
Philly special with the offensive lineman.
With the reverse. Like real talk. You throw it to the quarterback and you're playing NFL street out here. But somebody's gonna be wide open at the end of the day. But what about you, Keenan?
I like all of those. So for me, I got the Chiefs. I got Chris Jones defensively. Brock Purdy isn't the same. I mean, no quarterback's really the same. But Brock Purdy's definitely not the same with pressure, and there's no pressure worse than interior pressure, especially when the pocket just keeps collapsing. And obviously when you get on the outside. So if Chris Jones can get home 2.5 seconds and he doesn't really get to all of his reads, what Branndon said could be true. McCaffrey could be in for a lot of 8-9 catches in the game because of the fact that Chris Jones is getting after him. But you keep that up front. You make it from 10 yards on plays to 12 yards on plays to keep that around 3 and 4 for this team. I think the Chiefs would be in good spot. So Chris Jones there. And then offensively, I think it's a Travis Kelce day. His offense is just different. You have certain players who, when they're rolling, they're just different. Bengals, Jamar Chase, it's rolling, it's different than T. Higgins. The Bills, even when Stephon Diggs is rolling, it's different than when Gabe Davis or whomever is going. Which when Travis Kelce gets rolling, this offense gets a little new life around it, and I think Travis Kelce needs a big game. And because I think Travis Kelce needs a big game, my X factor is Fred Warner, because I think that they're going to be focusing on getting Travis Kelce involved in the game early. We saw against the Ravens, he getting involved early. Obviously, the early touchdown against Kyle Hamilton kind of broke things open for them a little bit offensively, and obviously we know the Ravens didn't play the greatest of games, but Fred Warner is a guy who can change the entire game just himself. He can stop you in the run game, and then he can go guard your best player.
Yeah.
He might he might see a couple even possessions if Rashee Rice is in the slot. He might see Rashee Rice for a couple plays there too. So Fred Warner is going to be the key because he unlocks everything for that defense. He gives them a couple and then maybe an extra second here. Gives them 4 yards on a run instead of breaking in getting 8. So I think Fred Warner is very huge. And then offensively, I think Christian McCaffrey's such a constant that for me it's Debo. George Kittle isn't someone who's an X factor to me because I don't think his impact can be felt in so many other ways other than just like running with the ball, catching the ball, and things like that because of his run blocking. Debo, when we were talking about obviously like best players, Debo really when he gets going, he's another one for that offense where when he gets going, there's a different electricity behind it. So Debo would be the offensive guy that I think is the biggest X factor for the 49ers.
Let me ask the dais a question. Does anybody else have any general questions? Any other?
Yes, 1,000%.
What you got?
Who y'all picking?
That's exactly what we're getting into. That's what I'm saying. If we got no other general questions, I want to hear the picks.
Who y'all picking?
Duke, you go ahead because we've already talked about this. I want to hear Duke go first. We had a discussion.
I'm not going. I don't bet against Mahomes. That's my Tom Brady. So anything with Mahomes, I can't fuck with it. I can't deny it. It's right in my face. We're seeing greatness. let my man lose, and then I'll be a loser, but I'm not gonna go against him beforehand.
I'm interested in that because you told me that last week. You said I'm riding with Mahomes, but this whole podcast, you've honestly seemed like you're like leaning Niners. Like you've
I'm a Niner. I believe the Niners deserve it. I told you how I feel. Kyle Shanahan, I feel like he deserves one. Finally, he should get it. I would love to see MCM get it. I would love to see
Man Crush Monday.
Huh?
CMC, you say MC.
Monday? Yo, you gotta say pause after that. Nigga.
Well, no, you're the one that you said MCM, not CMC. So you're saying you need your man. Yeah, you just need your Man Crush Monday, Christian McCaffrey.
So fancy now.
Last name ever, first name greatest.
This is why I can't rap with you on the wall, because we'll be out here rapping lyrics to each other and nobody gonna understand.
Fancy like to do.
Well, he would have been someone for a rap battles. Could do.
Yeah, could be in a rap battle.
All right,
Duke. Let me ask you, team for team though. Team for team, who do you like better though?
Kyle Shanahan to get one. I want to see them. I want to see them do that, and that's why I thought they would versus the Ravens, because I could really root for them. But I would love to see Kyle Shanahan get one. I think George Kittle deserve it. Debo deserve it. Christian McCaffrey deserve it. Brock Purdy doesn't really deserve it, but I like to see you come off that elbow injury and everybody doubted you. Because I think last year was their year. If he doesn't get injured, I think that's the year they win it. Even if it's scripted, that's his year. Now it's iffy because I can't go against my homeboy. Like that's my GOAT. Like no matter what he do, he can't go wrong.
So 2 questions. Team for team, you like the Niners better than the Chiefs?
Yes, 100%.
Second question, so you think the UCL tear for Brock Purdy, was that scripted?
No. Not at all. I'm just saying, I think last year was their year to win the chip.
Yeah.
And
with him getting hurt, that messed it all up.
Final score?
27-17.
Oh, you think Kansas City by 10?
I think it's gonna be a defensive game. I think you get those late points. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of scoring at all.
Okay. Branndon, how about you?
Okay, so I went back and forth with this pretty much ever since the championship games. I've been 50-50. I want San Francisco to win. I'm going to be very clear about that. I do not want to see Kansas City win at all.
Hater!
Tired of seeing Kansas City win. I'm tired of hearing about the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift love story.
It's a
her
love
album was
story,
13.
baby, just say yes.
Her flight time is 13 hours. Everything is 13.
So I want San Fran to win. I think San Fran's going to win. I'm going to pick San Fran to win. I think it's going to come down to whatever team can make a couple more plays. I think San Francisco's defense is going to step up. I think they'll force a turnover. I think Nick Bosa is going to have a vintage Nick Bosa game.
13.
And put on a DPOY performance from like he used to do, a year or two ago. I think he's going to have a good say in the game. So I think McCaffrey's going to have a big game. I think we're going to see a lot of Kittle. I'm going to pick San Francisco to win 28-24. I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
Kyle, how about you?
I'll put it on me. All right, so...
You think it's going to be close? It's crazy. I don't think it's going to be close. I think either way it goes, it's going to be a good deficit. But I would love to see a close game. We're fans, right? We want to see a good game. We want to watch the whole thing. So
of course.
At the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Much like Branndon, man, I've been going back and forth since the championship games. I'm very much 50-50 on these games. And, Duke's been saying, I can't go against Mahomes. And that's very much how I feel. I've been picking against Mahomes. It seems like every week I pick them against the Dolphins, but I mean I've been off this team really since that Raiders game. Duke, I'm sure you're very familiar with that being a Raiders.
I won that shit. That's better than my guys.
They couldn't move the ball past midfield, and man, I was just off the Chiefs. But
Defensive lineman of the year. Shout out my mans.
how can you bet against Mahomes, right? Like, how can you bet against Mahomes in these situations? He's been in the big games, and that's really been my hang-up is, the Niners on paper have the better team, but Andy Reid's been here. Mahomes has been here. Again, how can you bet against them? But I'm going against Mahomes. I feel the same exact way I felt with the Ravens game. All right,
and look what happened.
But I think the Chiefs I think the Niners are going to stick to the script. They can run the ball. They're not going to stray away from it. They're not going to just let Purdy just throw the ball 57 times. They're not. And even if they wanted to, they could carve them up. I really think the Chiefs I think they could carve the Chiefs up. Thing is, though, Spags himself, this is why I go back and forth, Spagnola's been in 5 Super Bowls. He was a part of the Giants Super Bowls. He's got that defense playing extremely well this postseason.
Gave him an extra week.
Highlighted by the play against Zay Flowers at the goal line. That strip. I mean, that's got to be one of the plays of the playoffs. But at the end of the day, if we're not talking about experience, which again, it does matter. Of course it matters. And you know what? Shanahan's been in this game. This whole Niners team has made deep playoff runs. They all got the experience minus Purdy. And guess what? Purdy did in his 2 playoff games this year. CMC. But what did Purdy do in his 2 playoff games? Comeback wins. That was the big question about the Niners. I do think the Niners will start slow. And if you look at it, the Chiefs don't score much in the second half. The Niners live to score in the second half.
But the Chiefs stop everybody in the second half. They didn't let up 1 touchdown in all their playoff games in the second half.
They seem to. I'm a firm believer that if the Ravens just play their regular Ravens game 2 weeks ago, this is a Ravens-Niners Super Bowl. I
believe if everybody didn't jump on the theory, I swear to God, it's a Niners-Ravens Super Bowl.
It should have been. And I honestly let's say the game was 60 degrees, Chiefs Dolphins, that first round matchup. Mm-hmm. I would have went back and forth. I might have ended on the Chiefs, but I might have picked the Dolphins too. That Bills game, let's be real, they played themselves to a draw. Bills just kind of shit themselves in the last drive, and then 100%. I've talked about what happened 2 weeks ago with the Ravens over and over. Niners, at the end of the day, have so many weapons between McCaffrey, between Kittle, between Ayuk, Debo, Jennings, the offensive line. They're the best team in football. I picked them to win the Super Bowl. I'm sticking with them. I do think that the Chiefs, there is a roadmap to where they can just keep it low scoring and it can get tight, whatever. But listen, it's incredibly hard to just guard every one of their position players. Like, how are you going to cover Kittle, Debo? Tell me how. If you can tell me how.
That's the question all year, right?
And then if you say, okay, they're going to run the ball, they do that just about better than anybody outside of everybody.
Not just about, they do it better.
And you can absolutely run on the Chiefs, so the only way, I don't want to say the only way, because there is a way that the Chiefs get the ball and they just kind of shorten the game. It's a big Pacheco play action, Kelsey type thing, but we saw in the Ravens game, you got 1 good half out of the Chiefs offense. You did not get 2 halves. So, I don't know. If you're betting this game for the Chiefs, you're really just betting on Mahomes and Andy. Yeah. That's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing.
Everything else here, I do think it's going to be close. I couldn't give you a final score yet.
As a Patriots fan, how many times did you just bet it on Tom Brady, bro?
You never bet against Tom Brady. Just like
no, but I'm just saying, as a Patriots fan, how many times you betted against Tom Brady?
Never. Never.
Take the same take, yeah, and use it in the opposite way that you used it years ago. But how many times you heard all that and you was like, nah, I'm still rocking with Tom.
Difference was
7 Super Bowls.
Difference was the defense was more well-rounded than this defense. This defense is pretty young.
The first 3 years, but this is the best defense that my nigga Mahomes ever had.
It's the best.
Like a top 5 defense in the league right now.
It is. It's really good. It's really good, but it still has holes. It's physical, but
bro.
I don't think it's an explosive defense though. I don't know if it's a good.
Which I understand.
I don't know if it's a good matchup.
If you was a kid 20 years ago and you was betting on this 04 championship.
But dog, that's 2 different games. That's 2 different games. That's two different games. This
Same
Brady,
quarterback. No matter
that Brady's
game, I got the same throw at the quarterback, bro.
That Brady's different than this Mahomes. That's all I'm saying.
No, they're not.
When it comes to that,
the Mahomes is the better one.
It's
Brady got better. Brady was never the one to start off and had two MVPs.
For sure. For sure.
Brady was never
Mahomes. Mahomes is a juggernaut now, though.
Vinatieri won that man 2 championships. Or Vinatieri, sorry. I don't mean to cut. But we don't need to talk about Keenan. Talk to this man nice. Tell me what I need to hear.
Let me get my final score first. 27-21, Niners. Cover. You get a cover there.
It's 2.5.
You get a cover. You get a cover. You're getting a cover. Of course, they get it right at 2. But no, they're winning by 6. I think it's close. I think it's going to be a defensive first half and a offensive second half. It's how I see it. Keen, what you got?
I have the Chiefs 27-24.
I knew it was gonna be a split. And
here's why. So the Chiefs have scored, I think, on like 5 straight games at opening touchdown on their first drive, which is crazy to think that they've done that. We saw the Packers went down and they got themselves a field goal. The Lions went down and they got themselves a touchdown early. You can run on this team. And so I think between Pacheco running on this team, Mahomes' legs are definitely underrated and I don't want to say underprepared for because I think teams do, but you have to give him something because you can't take away everything. So I think his legs are a little underrated to the masses. He can
I'd say that about Purdy too.
Before
I agree.
ACL surgery,
Purdy as well.
Where he was one of them ones. If he never injured his knee, there wouldn't even be a GOAT conversation, bro. But go ahead.
Okay.
We're gonna have a double debate.
I'm letting those go by me right now. Anyway, so I also think that Mahomes wants definitely to be. I think internally you want to be the best player to ever play, and he has that.
He's on track.
He's on track there. Losing this game knocks him off track, especially if he doesn't play well in it. So
why?
He's 5 touchdowns to 4 picks in the Super Bowl. Brady, I think, is like 3.5 or 4-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Tom Brady's worst games have come in the AFC Championship game. He's been at best in the AFC Championship games. But the Super Bowl Brady has been at his best, which obviously is where you want to be. Mahomes was really good last year, okay against the 49ers, okay against the Bucks.
He was good against the Bucks. He had no linemen.
No, hold on. He was okay against the Bucks. He was fine, but he didn't have linemen I know he didn't have linemen going in, and that's why they lost 31-9. But at the same time, the same people who predicted them to win the day before can't say the day after. That's why they lost. You should have known that before. Regardless, anyways, I have the Chiefs 27-24. I think they can get out to a lead early. I do think defensively they can get after Brock Purdy, kind of make it a little uncomfortable for him. McCaffrey's going to get his numbers because when doesn't McCaffrey get his numbers? But coverage-wise, against this team, you need to be able to get home with 4. And you need to be able to get home with 4. Spags does throw a lot of blitzes there, too. They were second in the league in sacks, only behind the Ravens. So they can definitely get after the quarterback. They do a good job at it. Chris Jones can make things uncomfortable. And then you do have L'Jarius Sneed and you have Trent McDuffie, who are 2 very good coverage corners who you're going to see, and Fred Warner as well, obviously, great coverage linebacker. No, sorry, wrong time. Sorry. I was thinking the other side. But yeah, you McDuffie and Sneed, you have great cover corners. So it's really going to come down to the middle linebacking core of KC. Can you stop Christian McCaffrey there? I think they'll be able to get enough done to where they can. I have it 27-24 Chiefs. I would love the 49ers to absolutely roll, though. I want a 35-10 game in Mahomes to look terrible. I need this Mahomes GOAT thing to stop.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question, though.
That dark skin hate just rides in you, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Kyle?
Shout out to y'all being next to each other, because I'm proud of y'all seeing each other and stuff. I know what it's like to see my brother, and that's not even my blood brother, so I know what it's like when you're blood. You just want to be like, hey, yo, Dixie Cup. Like, you just want to show love and shit.
What's up, Kyle?
Let me ask you this. So if the Niners get the ball first,
Yep.
and the Niners score,
Yep.
And Usher performed.
and Usher. Oh, I got a question about Usher after this, actually. Thank you for saying that. But no, basically, if the Niners get out like 10-0, 7-0, and are really pushing the pace, do you think the Chiefs can stick up with that? Because you said if the Chiefs get the ball first, you think the Chiefs get out to a lead. What if the Niners...
If the Niners get out to a lead, I think it's going to be very, very difficult. But I don't want to say no again, and that's literally just...
See, the only reason why I won't is because of your excuse earlier.
What do you mean? What was my excuse earlier?
The only reason why I say it won't, because your excuse earlier, which is Kyle Shanahan had a 28-3 lead. Now we dealing with Patrick fucking Mahomes, and my nigga gonna win the game.
So, like,
you're gonna win the game.
Imagine if it was another 28-3 or like a 27-3.
Yo, son.
And Shanahan just starts throwing the rock.
No, but I do like... I get the Chiefs, the fact that they do have Kelsey, they do have Rashee Rice. So they have a couple good pass catchers.
Not supposed to be there.
They have Isaiah Pacheco.
That's what I'm saying.
No, they're. I was gonna say they don't have the team specifically to be there, like you would have thought preseason. But they are here, and how are they here? They play very good defense. They run the ball very well, and then they have a game changer at quarterback who can make all the throws and doesn't turn the ball over in the playoffs.
And Lamar Jackson turned into Tito Jackson.
Sure. Sure. I mean, we don't know how that game plays out, but yeah, Lamar didn't play great. You're completely right in that scenario. But but I got the Chiefs 27-24. What is your Usher question? And then it's getting that time.
We'll start with you.
I didn't have an Usher question. He had an Usher question.
No, you did.
We'll start with you.
Yeah.
I want to know from the three of you, Usher's.
I want to know.
Yo, wait. Who is that? That's Bobby V. Bobby Valentino. That's Bobby V.
No, it's not. It's Joe. You're not a 90s baby.
Get the fuck out of here. Don't even be started.
Usher's opening.
Hold on. Bobby V Anonymous. That's what I was thinking of. What's Usher's? That's what I'm saying. That's what I thought you were singing. Usher opening song, Usher closing song. I want to hear y'all predictions.
Usher opening, I think, because I think he does start with good. I think he comes out with this hit, which is good for now. So I have him opening
30 seconds
with
at least.
So I have him opening with that, and then ending. I see like, because I think he goes through obviously, so like his hit. You remind me. Maybe I know that doesn't feel like an ending song.
It's not an ending song.
No, it's not. Like I'm going through like some of his older songs.
This is where you fucked up. You fucked up with good first. Because I'm gonna let you know. Good last. It sounds better than anything else that you can end with.
Yeah, no, because I don't think you had
new album in your
my confessions. I don't think you had.
That's in the mid. That's gonna get played.
Of course. Listen, and when he gets out with like his little side moonwalk with DJ Got Us Falling in Love, like it's gonna be. Actually, I got it. He's ending with Oh My God. He's ending with Oh My God.
Oh my God! I'll start with that for real.
No, he's gonna end with
bring
that.
Will I Am on stage.
Because I could just picture that. Oh my God, and then ending. I could just picture that like ending. So I think he's ending in Oh My God. He's starting off with.
He has so many hits that
but we
I
still
can only play 30 seconds of things for real. So I think you're gonna come out and you're gonna hit him with the. You might hit him with the draw, and it'd be like. I'm having this baby, but by somebody I barely know. These are my confessions.
He's starting with confessions.
And then but I'm saying you only going to do like 20, 30 seconds.
20 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to start.
You just drop, and you know what I mean? Now it comes out to, boom, 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in the drop top, cruising the seat. And then you got my boo in there. You're going to run all that all the way down.
My
the only thing that you're playing the same girl, which you still should play, just not R. Kelly.
I want to make it love in this club.
And the end. Let's go. But I feel like that's why he did his Vegas.
I know what you want.
I know what you need. Work now. But I feel like you said, I would expect good to get played.
Yeah,
Now, if you don't end it with it, then you end with maybe just something everybody know. Like you said, it might you got it bad, but you want to end up on up temperature. So like it might be oh my god.
I think oh my god he ends with. I think
if you
oh my
end
god
with
he
that,
ends with.
that's a vibe. But I feel like you either end with that with good, or you end with that, or if not, let's end with confessions. Because everybody knows it. Now you got everybody wanting more.
Yeah.
All right.
Branndon, how about you?
I agree with the whole opening with good. I think I don't know. I could just see him closing with yeah. Like I just like that's his biggest song. So like I could or one of his. I wouldn't say his biggest. One of his biggest. It's one of his more known songs.
It might be his.
It's probably
biggest,
his most known song.
I think it might be like his biggest in terms of like.
Known than 7 nice and slow. Everybody sings 7 o'clock on the dot.
I think.
No matter what.
I think might be just because of its mainstream aspect.
That's what I feel
bit.
like more people like when some people hear Usher, that's probably what they think of. They don't think of Nice and Slow or My Boo, Confessions. Like they don't think of like R&B Usher. Probably, maybe. I don't know. So I could see him playing something like that, but I do agree. I think maybe he'll kind of start it off with good, and then kind of maybe get to his slower songs and then play something a little bit more up tempo to kind of get like the crowd, energized again. And so whether it's yeah or like Keenan said, DJ got us falling in love again.
So
maybe No Limit.
Ooh, that's a good song. That's an underrated song. He bring out Young Thug from the jail cell.
That's hard. That might be the starter. I'm not even gonna lie. That might be the starter.
That could be.
I don't think No Limit's gonna get played personally. I do love that song.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like No Limit, because you gotta realize, like you're doing a Super Bowl show. Nobody want to hear no soft ass shit for real. Let's be honest.
So here's the thing. I think Good is going to be the first song that he has a beat to. I could see him singing like 12 seconds of acapella to one of, like, even if it was like Confessions to open up or something like that, and then the first song that actually drops is Good. So technically that'd be Confessions that starts, but the first one that starts, I think Good's gonna be the first beat that starts, even if he does something. So
you have Confessions actually as the first song then?
No, I don't know. I was giving just an example. I actually don't know which one he would put there, but I think Good's the first one that, like, when you hear instrumentation.
I think the intro of Confessions might actually be what we hear first. I'm having a baby by somebody. He might even do Confessions 3. He might even be like, I know you first. And no. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so we got like 2 openers for
15,
Good.
20 seconds and just stops and just goes into everything else.
So Brand, you got Good, yeah. Duke's got Confessions, and then closing with Oh My God.
He got Oh My God. I actually agree with Oh My God, but I think, like he said, it's either going to be a yeah or I really think it's going to end on something that we know, like something energetic. So it could be what's it called? You remind me, like you said, me, or like a bad, like, what y'all know about a
Bad Girl?
Supermodel to get an Elle magazine by her own bottle.
I hope he does that song.
Super Bowl, like, he's gonna try to keep the energy up, so I don't feel like he's not gonna end on those soft songs.
What's your final answer though? What's your for sure he's closing this song? Like, if we're making bets on it.
All right, if we're making bets on it, then I will do. If we're doing bets on it, I will go with Confessions. If I had to make a bet,
as a closer.
Yeah, because I'm gonna leave y'all just on the slow. Like the energy's down.
And the opener, Confessions Part 1.
No. The opener would be something else. The opener might be like Nice and Slow or My Way.
Okay.
or You Make Me Wanna. Yeah, oh yeah. The opener is You Make Me Wanna. Did not end on Confessions.
Okay. All right. I think the opener. If I had to put money on it, I think the opener is gonna be Oh My God. I think it's gonna be. It's mainstream enough and it's upbeat enough.
But I think that's in the middle for the energy.
Could be, and I agree with Branndon. I think he's gonna close with Yeah. I think he's gonna save that for the end. He's probably gonna give that the most run. I agree with Duke. He's got so many songs that I have a hard time. Like, I think it's gonna be like 15-second medleys of all these songs, which sucks because
which will still be 10 minutes of greatness.
It should be, but he needs a full half hour is what he needs. He needs a full 20, full 30. Bonus question to y'all: what song do you hope he performs? Like, what would be the one where you're like, oh, I hope he does that?
That's a good question.
Party. His portion and Party with Chris Brown.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
I think that'd be
fire. Remind me.
I think actually having Chris.
I think I deserve it.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Girl, come to my place. Don't bring no clothes.
Gucci's in that too, right?
Yeah.
That'll be hard.
Let's party. Just got out of jet.
Then you got Gucci.
Yeah, Pastor, feel me?
Tell your man I'm sorry.
I would say I would love to hear My Way. That's my favorite Usher song of all time. And I'm cool with Caught Up too, though.
Ooh.
I know what mine is.
That's definitely getting played. You know what? I could see him opening with that. Now that you say that,
I'm so caught up.
I kind of forgot about Caught Up.
Be hard.
That's a classic album. Confessions is such a
what?
classic.
Confessions had hits, bruh. Hits, super hits. Superstar?
Went diamond.
Even if he does Superstar, I swear to God, I might cry if he dropped that, John. I'm a grown ass man, nigga. He dropped Superstar, it's over.
So I was gonna do Party before Keenan said it, but I'm gonna go with Lovers and Friends. Just do the opening verse of Lovers and Friends.
Brandon, I knew you was black this whole time.
Lovers and Friends. No, he's definitely got to do that. He's definitely got to do that. That's Usher's goal. That's Usher's GOAT verse right there. Like that's number. That's the number one Usher verse right there. I'd put that up against any R&B verse probably. Oh my God. I'm mad. Brandon, I'm mad I didn't think of that one.
It just popped up.
That's just hitting, yo.
And if he had Luda and Lil Jon, no, that's a.
One time I can be your lover, sometimes I can be your friend.
You know what's crazy? It's funny because it's his like most popular song, as we were saying, and the same trio, Luda, Lil Jon.
Oh, it is on the same thing. Wow, I didn't think about it like that.
And Lovers and Friends is like I would say it's like 10 times a better song. Like Lovers and Friends is a fucking classic.
Nothing being bro. You must have forgot you went into teen high school parties and clubs with playing. Like it was like that.
And I would still take Lovers and Friends all day.
Do the A-Town Stomp.
They got to do the video version.
You wildin'.
The video version.
I ain't messing with Lovers and Friends, but
Lovers and Friends is a classic. That's a classic. If I had to pick one or two songs that I want to hear, it would be Bad Girl. You mentioned that one. That's a good slow jam. You Got It Bad's my favorite Usher song though. So he's for sure doing that. Yeah. Who knows what verse he gives us? You would think, right? He would.
You're at the Super Bowl. You're not trying to bring the energy down. So, like, you guys I only see him doing hype music at the same time.
You guys want a spoiler alert?
Sure.
He's bringing out Alicia for my boo.
What?
Like, it's confirmed. It's confirmed.
So
maybe that's the opener. That could be the opener. Him and Alicia. Who knows?
So
that's not the opener.
Two things. I want to say one. I would like to hear "I Don't Mind." I think that song's fire. So that's one, and two, just because it's an upbeat song and it's a popular one, I could actually see him ending with like "Without You," which is David Guetta and him.
Hell yeah, that's the thing right after. Oh my God,
I am pain.
It really is.
I will never be the same without you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of
He'll end on Climax.
We're gonna get a lot of EDM.
If he does Climax, he better do Moving Mountain. That's what I'm saying.
I have another song that popped up in my head. I don't know if y'all know this song, but it was actually, I want to say it came out a year or two ago. It was another Usher, John, and Ludacris song called Sex Beat. It's like a kind of like a slow day. I don't know. It's kind of like a mix of like Lovers and Friends and like a couple of other ones. That's a good song. It's a very good song.
Actually, I haven't heard that.
That's a great song. It's one of my more favorite Usher songs.
Oh yeah, you don't got to call. That might be the motherfucker.
That's a top 5 Usher song too.
Cause I'll be alright tonight. Oh yeah, that's starting that. You start off with that, it's a rap. My energy's already there.
With the whole dance routine, he had on the.
He better hit that move, boy. He better.
He had on the Heelys in the video.
He better have the what's the shoes with the skates on them?
That's what I'm saying. He had the Heelys on in the video.
Yo,
a dance battle like he had in the club is insane. With Diddy there, with Pharrell there. That video is insane to look at, but that's a classic song.
Yeah. All right, well, boys, this was a blast. So it's got me and Duke. We've got the Chiefs. We got Kyle. We got Branndon there with the 49ers. Obviously,
bang, Niners.
We'll talk. Well, if we're talking bets, we'll talk off. I don't need bets at this moment in time.
You don't believe in.
Still gotta pay up for our. You gotta pay up for our bets too.
Who, me or? Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, absolutely.
We're going.
Do you want me to do it? Like, how do you want me to do it? Do you want me to Venmo you now? I can. How would you like me to do?
$50. $50.
No,
I want to.
However you'd like. I don't want to bet on this right now. I've got enough bet on the side already on this. But
I've already got enough going on it.
Yeah. But I appreciate it, Duke. I appreciate it, Branndon. Obviously, we have a lot more of content on and off air that may not be able to ever see the day because of a little technical difficulty.
God doesn't want us to talk about the NBA for some reason.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's like, you guys want to talk music? That's cool. You guys want to talk the NFL? Great.
Cool.
NBA,
no.
You guys are not talking NBA.
And it's been great NBA conversation.
Strike the laptop.
But time out. This was the Warner Brothas Podcast. I very much
It's a sick tea if so.
Absolutely.
That's a sick tea if so. Train time.
That is crazy. But absolutely,
tea up to your boy.
Enjoy the Super Bowl. This is us. We'll be definitely having Duke Branndon on for sure afterwards at some point. I still need to talk about him, Kobe, LeBron at some point because he's crazy. But
I do want to give out Tim Gray's pick.
27.
Tim was supposed to join us tonight. He's picking the Chiefs to jinx the Chiefs though. He wanted to pick them to jinx them because he's been picking against them. So he said I might as well just roll with the Chiefs, but I'm rooting for the Niners.
27-20 is what the score he has. So shout out the haters, me included. This is the Warner Brothas Podcast.
Like a man.